Welcome to Crawl or No Crawl. This is Carolyn Holzman. Today is March 2nd, day number 545 of the Indexation Research Project. This phase of testing is focusing on sites that have been designated desktop primary crawler by Google versus smartphones. And their indexation process is different. Now, if you don't know what your site is designated as in Search Console, you can search for my video on that. You can Google how to find the primary crawler of my site, and it is the first result below the ads. Now, you can find this data on American Way Media. All you have to do is search for Google Index Detector. I'll be updating this later today. This is the data from yesterday, and I'll explain all of this real quick. We've had another day of high volatility today, and let's see, the product review update was announced on February 21st here. That's what this is indicating, and Google said it's going to continue on or be live and active for the next 2 weeks. Now, here's what I did, and data has shown two things cannot get done during updates. Typically, I have never seen a mobile Chrome bot get introduced in a core update, and Search Console page reports aren't updated during them either. And there hasn't been a Search Console update since February 25th, so the one that I'm expecting or was expecting yesterday did not happen. So clearly things are still going on, but I went back to the raw data to confirm that I didn't miss or overcount something, and because it just didn't make sense. Right in here, I had this where a mobile bot, I think it was a Chrome bot, got introduced, and so it just didn't make sense, after the last 18 months of what I've seen. And I did find something, and I did have, I didn't change the data, I simply changed the charting of the data. The data always showed this, just my early morning brain didn't catch it. I misdated them. So here we go. February 10th, we saw a new Google bot 23, that's a desktop bot, and a mobile bot 24. And then on February 16th, I'll have this in the description, by the way. On February 16th, there was mobile 25, and these are updated by their Chrome builds. February 19th, we had a mobile 26 and no new bot. I had it here that a new bot launched on the 22nd, which is why I was thinking, man, that just doesn't make sense. And but it turns out there was a gap, and I had counted that new bot twice. So I'm correcting that, and that's when that was February 19th when that one came out. So the one on the 22nd was just counted twice. Then February 25th, was a new mobile, what I call mobile 27. And then February 26, I saw the desktop 26, which makes perfect sense. So that's actually 6 new bots since February 10th, 4 mobile updates, and 2 desktop. And here's looking at the timeline. This is the one, this line says what Google announced. This is where I think the update actually occurred. So I'm going to say sometime late on the 21st, continuing through the 24th, and probably very early on the 25th, or very late on the 24th when it completed. Now, whatever is happening this week with the Maps glitch, that may be what we're seeing here. But I do think it's unrelated to the product reviews update. Because Google has already told us that that's not a continuous rolling update, at least for now. Now, as far as finding things so far, I'm going to give the day a little bit of time before I call it. But testing both the simple and the JavaScript keywords in quotes prior to when they become findable. The URL, when you can find the test keywords in quote, either one, not both, it just takes one. The URL becomes findable in quotes. Now, that doesn't mean that it's in the primary index. That's the piece that I think as SEOs we forget, don't understand. And basically, you're peering behind the curtain when you start searching in quotes or do a paragraph search. So the slowdown between indexing and serving on desktop bot compiled sites is still very much on display. Now let's show you the bots over here. The desktop bots seem to be making a comeback around here. So let's see, what day am I on? Here we are. So this is the last 2 days. You can see like on the desktop compiled site. Now that's the one that I'm testing on. That's why a lot of these are coming back. So I'm looking at the mobile to see what it's doing. Like what does Google do when you no longer publish on a site? Do they come back? And the answer is yes, they come every day, but they're not rendering every day. All right, so I talked yesterday about how desktop results look a lot like mobile, with the little icons, graphically they look like it. And so I'm wondering if we're not just experiencing a mobile first initiative, if we're looking at a mobile only, meaning that the results for mobile or desktop will become the same. I also mentioned, cost cutting might be a play on this, because even if a corporate company is making billions of dollars, they're always looking for ways to cut costs. So my question is, why have both a desktop and a mobile bot? Because that's going to be double your cost, resources, storage, everything. So I think we can say at best there's a delay between indexing and serving. I'm going to go back over here to the chart. So you can see here that so far no tests this week have been findable in the primary index by their keywords. And we're starting last week. A lot of them were coming in. This one was in and now it's out. And I'm trying to, it's getting confusing to me, so I can imagine looking at this. It's like, Carolyn, you must like colors. Anyway, the render time, and that's the on the render pass, is still testing at 5 seconds. Ted Kubitis has history of testing on this and is currently testing as well. If anyone else is, please reach out to me. I would love to compare numbers. And I talked yesterday about possible ways to adjust for the product reviews update. And remember that it is a rewarding update. So if you feel like you got hit, maybe your competitor just got rewarded. They also say this about these types of updates. They run a couple of times in the year versus the continually ongoing rolling update. It's like they handled Panda and Penguin back in 2011 and 2012. So if you got dinged, the rescore may not be done until they roll it again. So you can make changes, but not know for sure until they roll it again. Well, that's it for today's Crawl or No Crawl. Thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.